Our first surprise comes at the beginning of the next month, when we ask for rent money. Does any of this sound familiar? And he gives you a look like a frightened rabbit that's just had its nuts stapled together. That's when we learn two things. A, the concept of rent has about as much place in furry reality as the concept of hygiene. And B, now we know how he was able to afford Avenue Q tickets. We want to gripe at him and tell him maybe he should have a better job than being the manager at Arby's, but we make the fries at that same fucking Arby's. And from then, things get worse. The little things that you used to ignore start to bother you. Does any of this sound familiar? Any of this? He leaves whiskers in the bathroom sink. And that's just disgusting. Every morning you have to go in there and piss the whiskers out of the sink. He leaves the horse dick bouquet out when you invite your parents over. Come on in. There it is. Everything is just wrong. He doesn't pay the rent. He has these parties late in the middle of the night, and everybody he invites, just coincidentally, is an ex-boyfriend of yours that got rich and famous after he left you. The entire house smells like a dish sponge filled with sperm and cheese. And then there's the secret. Every furry roommate eventually has the secret. And it's always a fetish that you didn't know was even possible. I'm a toothbrusher. I like to, stick my toothbrush up other people's asses. And now you're standing there realizing, thinking back on every picture drawn of his character, standing there with a toothbrush and a boner, with TB on his shirt, you just thought he was, really liked clean teeth and was a fan of tuberculosis research. Now you're realizing of this guy's butt. Of course, you could just ask him to leave, but then he'd probably start giggling and stabbing himself in the liver. It's furries. So instead, what you do is you try to make it subtle. You try to do a subtle thing to get him out. It's like they'll always, it's fucking chord. It's like having a dance. It's like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. I don't know you. You are a bitch. So you go and you try to somehow reason with them, It's like you have everything ready and they come up to you at any moment. The toilets in there is stopped up. Well, I guess you'll be leaving now. You could probably use that Ryder truck I accidentally rented this morning. Here's the keys. Put all your stuff in that storage space I burned everything in 2 days ago for some reason. Furry roommates are very, very, very difficult to believe in, to deal with. They're very difficult. But furries are fun because they have problems that make normal people eat things with their butt. And if anybody's out there doesn't understand, let me explain this butt-eating thing, okay? Picture this. You're a normal person. Picture that you're a normal person. Imagine you're a normal person, and you're in a bar, and you're hanging out there, you're having a drink, and you look up the bar, and you see this really pretty person, this really pretty female, right? Say you're a guy, all right? If you're a female, say it's a guy you see up there. And you see somebody up there, really, beautiful person, and looks like they're having fun, and they're chilling out, it's all cool. So you go up there to the bar, and you sit down next to them, and you buy them a drink. They seem to like that. They seem to like your company. Everything's going great. So you ask them their name, and when you ask them their name, they rip their head off, and it's a sweaty guy named Bob. And whether you want it to happen or not, your ass clenches so hard it rips the vinyl off the seat. And it goes, oh, no, 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 no. That is what furries have to go through. I've seen it happen. I've seen them watching fursuiters bounce around and they're getting into it and they're awesome. And oh my God. And the guy will pop the head off and go, mayonnaise? And every occupied seat in the room disappears. Just keep the head on, okay? That's the one thing, the one really odd thing I found about furries. We don't care what's under the suit, just keep the fucking head on, okay? Keep it on while I digest this sofa. Furries have a lot of problems. A lot of problems ahead. Furries have problems with, some people think that we get a little bit too close to real animals than we actually do. That's some other people, that's not us, that's other people, and they have their own problems. You know, like, just not far from here in Enumclaw, I was about to say pull y'all up. It's Puyallup, isn't it? Yeah, there was a guy who, Mr. Hands. How many people are not from this area?
I know exactly where it is.
Mr. Hands happened, like, right there, in the next room. He happened in this area. And, yeah, he went over to this farm where people actually helped him have intercourse with the male horse. Naturally, he died a short time later because, well, let's face it, that's like stuffing a college education into a Fox News reporter's brain. People were like, oh, well, if they'd only gone to the hospital, he'd have been okay. I said, how are you going to explain that to a doctor? You're going to walk in and, yeah, man, I was just hanging around in a horse stable, and guy came up and gave me a mojito, said it was like from the horse at the end of the stall, you know? One thing led to another, I was playing DDR, I did a fucking move, and suddenly I jumped up in the air and landed, oh boy. Yeah, but look at it this way, you know, he's up in heaven now, and he's probably having a really amusing time. Yeah, so what'd you die of? I died of AIDS. I got hit by a train. I got fucked to death by a horse. He's making their Jaeger bombs, you know he is. You know he's doing it. Oh, yeah. I can think of worse ways to go. How many people in here would rather die of being fucked by a horse than cancer? How did I end up here? No, it's just, a lot of furries think that, or a lot of people think that furries are geeks too. You know, naturally. And the first thing that, a lot of people think furries are geeks, and the first thing you hear is, fuck me, I can't debunk that now. They only think that because we just know every line of every Star Trek episode ever made. And because we sit around and actually debate the science involved and whether or not it's realistic. Star Trek is not realistic. And it's not because of the science. It's because people left the holodeck. The first time I saw anybody step foot out of a holodeck, I was like, okay, bullshit. What is it? What computer and program I got to get back to work? Bullshit. No, people would not leave the holodecks. You'd have to be insane to leave a holodeck. Who the fuck would leave a holodeck? Everybody who would not leave a holodeck, raise your fucking hand.
If you get fucked by horses...
Everybody whose hand is not raised, you're fucking insane!